Hello, artists. Today we're going to talk about you. We're going to talk about what to put on your About page. It's the most important page on your website next to your landing page. It is the page that tells people who you are, what your intention is, and what your credibility is. So let's get on it. The best way to think about it is think about putting the three V's on your website: the visual, the verbal, and the vitae, curriculum vitae. So number one, you want something that's very visual and is going to convey who you are as an artist, what type of work you do, and how you do it instantly. This could be a series of like 3 images that are all lined up. It could be one image, it could be a video, but the best thing to do is to show yourself in your studio making the work. The second thing is the verbal part of your About section. This is going to be 2 paragraphs that are going to be quick, concise, and they're going to frame the way that we look at your work. The first paragraph, and by the way, they all have to be written in the third person. When you write it in the third person, you're more likely to boast, and it's okay to boast about your work. It just sounds better than just saying, like, I have won these awards and I have accomplished these things. When you say, you know, John Smith won all these awards and has shown his work in these places and accomplished these things, it just sounds much better. And it's also easier for people to read about other people in the third person, because when you introduce the first person, it becomes subjective. And we want to seem as objective as possible in these 2 paragraphs. Okay, so the first paragraph will be all about your work. It is the lens through which we will look at your work. So for example, if you're interested in Jungian philosophy and it really influences your work, you might want to put that in there. And the second paragraph will be all about you. So if you want to tell us where you are from, where you went to school, that's great too. But you also want to say something like, so-and-so's work was included in the following notable exhibitions and has been, he or she has recently had solo exhibitions at these locations. And also, by the way, he or she has been mentioned in the following publications, and he or she has won the following awards and recently completed a residency in some place. So you want to put all those things there. And you're also going to get an outline of how to do this and what to put on there somewhere on my website. Another thing is to finally put your curriculum vitae on your website. It's totally okay for us to be able to scroll all the way down and see your curriculum vitae, but it's also really nice to have a link to it that's very clear. Like you might have a button on your website that says, click here to see the curriculum vitae. And your curriculum vitae is not just a list of exhibitions. It's so much more. We're going to have a whole list of all your accomplishments. And so we're going to start out by saying where you are, so we can contextualize everything, and where you were born is also good to have on there. It might be part of your story. Contemporary art is very much okay with exploring the biography of the artist in relationship to their work. So having where you are born is totally cool. You might want to have your education on there if you have a fine art education. If you don't, or if you have an education that's ancillary to a fine art education, let's say you make artworks that are like biological artworks, but you have a PhD in biology, you might want to put that on there. But if you have a PhD in, I don't know, accounting, and you make abstract art, and the accounting degree has nothing to do with your artwork, leave that off. It's totally okay because you are now considered like a self-taught artist, which is also really cool. Furthermore, you want to have a list of your solo exhibitions. If you've been in like a million art fairs, you might want to have a separate list of the art fairs that you have participated in. You would have a list of your selected group exhibitions that you have been in, and also after that, you would have a list of your awards and residencies and public collections that your work is in, and then followed by, finally, the selected bibliography of your work. And I have, again, this document on my website for you to just like look at the template and follow it and make sure it's consistent and get that on there. But it's great to have the visual first on your About page that explains visually what you do. So if you're a welder, if you're welding something, I want to see you welding something. Second, it's good to have a description in the third person about your work. First paragraph would be about your work, and the second paragraph would be about your accomplishments. And finally, we want to have a little button on there that will take us to your curriculum vitae, which has a whole giant list of everything you've ever done. Going further, if you don't have a very long curriculum vitae, or if you're just starting out, it's totally cool to just have this paragraph and not have your curriculum vitae on there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helped. Comment below, I guess. I'll talk to you soon.